So I've been thinking, right? Our resident balloonomancer Wes here went and got himself one rework many moons ago that ultimately turned out to be a whole dang dream, but then we found that he woke up from said slumber an entire year later to a second, actually legit, but still to be believed a fake out refresh just a few months back, believe it or not. Now it was all great, and it was a jest all around. And even with these tangible changes, Wes was still Wes. But ask yourself this. What if things were just taken a teensy tiny bit further? What if there still were some balloonomancy rebalancing to be done? Well, ask yourself no further, as we are here to answer just that. And with some more tweaks, new crafts, and more, I think we're gonna have some fun. So let's get to it. But before we dive into the plethora of changes added in such a small mod, we would be fools not to point out how everything to follow can be absolutely tweaked to your liking, folks. Meaning that what you see won't exactly be what you get. From adjusting Wes's own stats for Pete's sake, to adjusting all sorts of percentages for bloody everything, the default settings for the Balloonomancer's rebalance here are yours to rebalance at the end of the day. It's good stuff, and player choice is always key. And so is speed. So that's why we begin with the subtle yet incredibly useful changes to Wes's speedy balloons here. That said, the not so subtle change will most certainly be their durability, as now they go from barely lasting less than half a day to remaining inflated for well over a day and a half, everyone. Speeds for the initial usage of speedy balloons will not change though, as they remain at 30% overall. But as they deflate, we can now expect to lose but 5% of that speed with each level instead of the original 10%. So 25% for stage 2 here, and 20% for stage 3 instead of 20 and 10 respectively. So zoom zoom, and oh yes, the most important thing remains, and that being that they will still float away when dropped with remaining durability. So enjoy them. And with that said, I actually think it's quite important to note that everything in this mod rework still works the exact same as the official rework, but just goes a step beyond is all. Take the party balloon here for example. It can still be made, dropped, popped, and then used for sanity over time for any of those in the confetti area for the short time it lasts, of course. However, Wes can now pick up the party balloons in order to throw them to any desired locations. And this not only saves health from not having to pop them right up against them, but it offers an instant 20 sanity to those around it when it does hit the ground after a throw. But not only that, it also retains its sanity over time regen too. Now that's great stuff. And we will see all sorts of these little yet significant changes in every balloonomancy craft that Wes has to offer us. Like the balloon hat here even. Now costing a single nightmare fuel, mind you, this noggin hugger now offers a sanity regeneration effect of plus 3.3 per minute over its original 1.3. Furthermore, it will now last for a full 2 days over the original's 1. It's not bad, but it gets better. Well, maybe. For you see, the balloon hat now causes fear in nearby mobs when it pops. However, it doesn't last that long, and it most certainly doesn't last long enough to escape. Still, even a little change like this just adds some more flair to the item than what the original offered at the end of the day. And that's what counts. Oh, but if we are talking an item that underwent a bunch of perk tweaks, then nothing compares to the new inflatable vest for sure. This thing now lasts for a total of 4 flippin' days instead of 1. Offers some slight insulation for winter as you can see, which might come in handy considering how bloody cheap it is. Grants an unbelievably solid 80% waterproofness, which when combined with a balloon hat now, will grant total protection unlike how they did before. And the thing even offers 50% protection to us when popped, even when it pops on the first bloody hit taken regardless. Now that is actually really useful. It might save your life here and there. And heck, the whole thing is probably good now too. and it still will save you from the effects of drowning to boot. But come on now, Beard. What about his pile of balloons themselves? How on earth could something so dang simple actually see a change? Well, by doing something really obvious. We need water balloons to make a pile of balloons, yes? So, why can't we just use a pile of balloons to make balloons filled with water? Well, at the cost of 5 wetness per balloon, we can now do exactly that. And oh boy, I can smell the griefing from here. Fight, fight, fight. Or, make love instead of war with Wes's regular balloons now. For you see, not only are we now officially able to make more balloon types and actually hold balloons, we can go a step further with this mod and allow for regular balloons to be given to both pigmen and bunnymen in order to befriend them immediately. And it's effective too, even over that of using meat and veg originally. One balloon will have them following us for well over a day and a half, so take advantage. Now, this one might be a little too good, so maybe a tweak's in order, but enjoy it while it lasts. And our last balloonomancy craft of the day is actually an entirely new one. The balloon saddle. Costing the same amount of sanity to create as all the rest of it, a balloon saddle offers one use, a 25% speed boost for our beefaloes, and offers us the ability to saddle any beefalo out there immediately due to the saddle raising both a beefalo's obedience and domestication by 100% and 30% respectively the moment it is used. Now, that all sounds insanely useful. But hear me out, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. While one use only does not actually mean that the moment you are bucked off a beefalo, the saddle's gonna break, as you can see. But it does mean 2 other things, like how it will now disappear the moment a beefalo's obedience drops too low, resulting in the beefalo shaking off the saddle. But it also means that the obedience and domestication thing only applies once per beefalo. If you want to raise them higher, you will have to do everything else yourself following a saddling with the balloon saddle. Oh, and we also have to be very mindful of the fact that this is really only for transportation, because the moment you get hit on the back of one of these balloon saddled beefs, the saddle pops immediately, damages you actually, and you'll just be launched up in the air, just like how an untamed beefalo bucks you off now and then. So yeah, it's great, but not that great. But this mod, on the other hand, this mod was actually great, I think. You know me. I like the little things adding up to make stuff bigger and better than they might actually appear. And this here does that to a T, I believe. So all my thanks to both Silly Goose and Default for all their hard work in bringing the mod to us here today. So be sure to show them your love when you get the chance. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. Wes has now been reworked 3 times, so suck it, everyone else. And I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.